Hey students, how you doing out there? Good morning. Hope things are going great. This is Travis Seibert, Junior High Pastor, and I don't know if you're aware, but we're only about 3 weeks left until transitions. So that means 8th graders in 3 weekends, or maybe 4, you will officially be 9th graders. 7th graders, you'll be 8th graders. And hey, if there's some 6th graders on watch right now, you'll be new 7th graders joining our ministry. And because of that, and because of us having to do all this stuff online, we've been trying to decide what should we do as a closing series. And as we were thinking through, we thought, we're not going to be able to do some of the goodbye stuff we've been able to do in the past. We're still trying to plan some cool stuff for you 8th graders, for sure. But we just thought, what if we did this series a little different? And so our series that we are going to be starting for the next 3 weekends is called Welcome Up. You see, it's kind of like when you're at a graduation, 8th grade graduation, let's just say, and the principal gets up and he shares some words and he says, all right, now let's welcome up. And what we're going to do for the next 3 weeks is we're going to welcome up our different paid staff and even the high school pastor and high school directors up. And we're going to share with you something to give you some words as you are transitioning on, whether it's to 9th grade, 8th graders, whether it's to 8th grade, you 7th graders, and even you 6th graders going into 7th grade. And a lot of this is going to be geared more toward you 8th graders, but guess what? Everything we're going to share relates to all 3 of you. So we're doing a series, Welcome Up. You see, as I was trying to think through what do I want to share with you guys as we get ready for this transition, it started I started thinking and reflecting my high school years. I know it was a long time ago, and some of you guys think like, Trav, you're out of touch, but I can still remember 5'2", 100-pound Travis, this little white boy scared to go to high school, and purely just I was smaller than everyone. And I still remember what was going through my mind. I was concerned about being cool. Oh man, I was so worried about what people thought of me. And this idea of worried about that affected everything. It affected the friends I chose. It affected the sports or the extracurricular activities I decided to do. It affected girls I was allowed to like and not like. It affected what I said. It affected how I dressed. I mean, literally, it affected everything. Man, I was so concerned about being cool. I mean, I still remember doing an air band with a lot of the basketball players and the cheerleaders, yeah, because they were the cool students at school. And so I got in this air band, and I didn't really want to be a part of it. In fact, I think a lot of them, I was the joke of the air band. But to be cool, oh my goodness, I had to be in that air band. I remember some stupid stuff I did just wanted to be cool. The things I said to people, the places I went, even hanging out with those cheerleaders and the basketball players, the different things I did to try to get noticed to be cool. I just wanted to be cool. And here's the thing is, when I say the word I just want to be cool, a lot of you out there are like, well, Trav, I don't struggle with that. And it's like, okay, maybe I'm using the wrong word. Okay, maybe you're a little different than me, but here's what I know. I've been working with junior hires a long time, and I've been working with teenagers, and I know this. We all struggle with wanting to be cool in a different way. And what I mean by that is we all want to just be accepted. We all want to be in our groups. We want to be liked. In fact, let's just be honest. You don't only want to be accepted in the group, you almost want people to want you in your group. Whatever group that is. Some of you guys are like, well, I don't want to be a part of the popular cool crew. That's fine. Whatever crew you want to be a part of, you want to not only be accepted, you want them like wanting you to be important in the group. You want to be the one that they're coming going, you better be in our group because we want you in our group. You want to feel accepted. You want to be loved. You want to be liked. You want to be cool. And here's the problem. If you go to high school, or even in junior high these next few years, if you're more concerned about being cool, being liked, fitting in and making sure everyone likes you, you're going to end up making mistakes and doing things like me that I did that I wish I never would have done. And so what I wanted to share with you guys, Welcome Up Travis, is I want to help you see something that A lot of you might be concerned about being liked and being cool, but I want you to understand something. You're already cool. Now, I know that sounds weird. Like, what do you mean? It's like, no, but you need to understand something. You're already cool. I know it's your youth pastor talking, and some of you guys are like, but Trav, who are you? And it's like, you need to understand something. Yeah, I might be Travis. I might be a youth pastor that I only get to see you once or twice a week. But first of all, I want you to know something. I do care about you. I do love you guys. And I want you to know something. You're already cool. I know this not only because I know you guys, but I also know it by what God says in the Word. He talks about how amazing you are. And let me give you 3 things he shares real quick. The first thing he says is, I want you to know why I know you're cool is God created you special. God created you. Yes, you. Special. Okay? It says right here in Psalms 139, 13 through 16, it says this, "For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained to me were written in your book before one of them came to be." I want you to understand something. God created you. God knit you together in your mother's womb. He is the one who actually formed you. The way you look, that's the way he wanted you to look. The person you are, that's who he wanted you to be. You're already special. You're already cool. It's so funny how we get so worried about how we look. We get so worried thinking that we don't measure up. And I'll be honest, I struggle with that. I compare myself to others. But here's the thing is, you're already cool because God said, I created you. When you're creating that project, my sons, for art, they had to create something and they were like, okay, what am I going to create? And what they were creating was special. And that's God. God created you. You are already cool. He created the way you are, but I don't know why you want to change. Why do you want to change who you are? God said, that's how I created you. You're already beautiful. Girls, a lot of you are going to show that you're going to feel like you have to change your appearance to conform to what everyone thinks. And it's like, what are you doing? You're already beautiful. You're already cool. But you don't get it. You don't understand how amazing you are. The second reason I know you're cool is because it says in the Bible that God gave you unique and special gifts. He gave you special gifts and abilities. It says right here in Romans 12, 4 through 6, it says, "For just as each of us has one body with many parts, and these members do not all have the same function. So in Christ, though there's many of us, we form one body, and each member belongs to all the others." And he says, we all have different gifts according to the grace God given us. Listen, we're all part of one body, but we all have different unique gifts. Just like the arm has a special, set of skills to help us, live life, we all have special gifts and abilities. Now, hold on. Here's the problem is some of you are like me. You're like, well, I'm the basketball player. And I just realized, dang it, I'm good at basketball, but I'm not the best. That sucks. I guess, yeah, I have good gifts, but I'm not that special. Some of you are like, you're the smart one at school. You're good. You're really good at math, but you started realizing, man, when I got into high school, there was a lot more people that were actually better at math. And then what happens, we go is like, yeah, I have cool gifts, but they're not that cool because other people are better than me. It's like, hold on. Here's what you don't get. Yeah, you have multiple gifts and you are unique in your style of all the gifts that come together. So you have this gift, this gift, this gift, this gift, this gift, and when they come together, nobody has that array, that special set of gifts than anyone. No one does. And God said, I created you that way. You are cool, but I want you to use these gifts to further my kingdom. And when you stop comparing your gifts to others, and you start actually using the gifts the way God designed you to be, that's when you start to see how amazing you really are. Let me tell you something. I'm in ministry. I work with a lot of pastors. You know how many amazing pastors there are? There's amazing pastors here at this church that I can't even, when I compare, I think I'm worthless. But then I remember that They have different gifts than me as pastors, different skills. And when I add up my gifts, I start to see, oh my goodness, I have new gifts and skills. And when I start using those, that's when I start to realize, okay, God, you're right. I am special. I am unique. I am valuable. And quit thinking you're not. When God gave you, he said, guess what? I gave you this, and this. Why aren't you doing them for me? Why are you trying to be like someone else? And the third reason why I know you're cool is this, is because God wants to hang out with you. God wants to have a relationship with you. The Bible talks about our God is not someone who created you and then left. It says he wants to hang out with you. Do you get that? He wants to hang out with you. He wants to spend time with you. The God that created the universe, and he can hold the whole universe in the palm of his hand. He not only created you special, not only gave you amazing gifts, but he actually wants to hang out with you. Okay, I want you to know something. If you weren't cool, if you weren't special, God wouldn't want to hang out with you. Okay? He wouldn't want to hang out with you, but he wants to. That's the point, is he wants to have a relationship with you. He wants to hang out with you. Listen, we're going to struggle our whole life wondering if we're special. But before you go, I want to let you know you are special. You are cool. So let's welcome up Austin Payne. I'm excited to hear what he has to say.
What's up, junior high, JH78? My name's Austin Payne. I'm the 910 pastor, and this is my puppy, Bandit. We got him right at the beginning of quarantine, and he's growing quite a bit. But today, I'm stoked to be joining you guys in our series called Welcome Up. And we really just want to share some wisdom with you guys as you guys start high school, and what are some of those tips and tricks and some of those best practices as you dive in as a ninth grader, coming into 910, going to high school, kind of a new chapter in life. What are some of those things that as I look back on my life, I wish somebody would have told me, I wish somebody would have kind of loved me enough to speak this truth into my life? And ironically, there probably were a lot of people that loved me enough to speak it into my life, but it's a matter of whether or not I choose to listen or not. And it's two simple truths. It's the difference between Proverbs chapter 27, verses 17, and 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. And it's the simple truth that who you surround yourself with matters. And for me, I kind of learned this lesson the hard way. If you're anything like me and some of you 8th graders becoming 9th graders, you're the type of person that maybe you're a youngest sibling or a middle child, or maybe even an oldest sibling, but you kind of have to touch the stove to know that it's hot. Do you know what I mean? That somebody might tell you, hey, that surface is hot. That surface is hot. And you kind of look at your mom and you like touch it and you're like, wow, yes, it is hot. And this is one of those truths for me that I felt like I could kind of hang out with whoever I wanted to hang out with and be around whoever I wanted to be around, and it wouldn't really impact me and my character and who I was. And character is kind of that, it's the truth of who you are becoming, right? We can't necessarily look at ourselves right here, right now as 8th graders becoming 9th graders and go like, okay, my character is solidified, it's locked in stone. But it's the choices that you make on an hourly basis, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis that will determine who you are becoming. And Proverbs 27:17 says this. It says, as iron sharpens iron, so one man or so one woman sharpens another. And 1 Corinthians 15:33 says, do not be deceived. Now that's important, right? Anytime scripture says, do not be deceived, it's connotating, or it's suggesting that there is deceit here. Like it's easy to fall into it, right? Nobody says like, whoa, hey, like watch your step, don't slip if a surface isn't slippery. Right? Nobody says do not be deceived if there isn't deceit there. It says do not be deceived. Bad company corrupts good character. Right? So on one hand, we have iron sharpens iron. As iron sharpens iron, so one man or so one woman sharpens another, and bad company corrupts good character. There are these two simple truths that the Bible screams out and says who we surround ourselves with matter. One of my favorite studies says we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. And if you look at kind of in your life, and I would challenge you even maybe this weekend to do this, of write down those top 5 people that you spend your time with. And maybe they're, best friends, cousins, maybe even it's a sibling. And are you okay with being the average of their spirituality, their relationship with Jesus, the average of their relationship with their parents and the way that they respect the people older than them, the average of their social media intake and the way that they use social media? And obviously not against social media in a season like this where we are using it so much, but it can obviously be it can be a downfall, and it can be a tool that we use for our own advancement and for our own pride, or even fall into these deep lust cycles or insecurities or comparison games of just going, man, I wish my life was more like theirs or more like hers or more like his. And I think when it comes to those 5 people, I want to surround myself with, in my immediate context, with people that are going to push me, that people are going to challenge me, not just by people that are easy to fall into friendships with because they're in my same grade, or they happen to be, they went to my school, or we play the same sport together, or we're on the same Discord chat together, whatever it may be, right? But friendship by convenience or by proximity is not biblical friendship. And I love that Chris Hilkin, the old 1112 pastor, that's weird to say, the new Jordan pastor, one of our speaking pastors at North Coast Church, him and I got to do a video series all week long called 9:10 in the morning, which I would love for you guys to check out. It's at 9:10 a.m. every morning on 910's Instagram. We go live and we just kind of share some tips and tricks on life. We invite people in and interview them. It's a lot of fun. But we got to talk all week about friendship, and I love him and I have a great friendship, and his challenge for the people listening and for me, as we've been friends, was just that we cannot have friendship just because it's convenient, right? Well, they happen to live next to me, or that we happen to play the same sport, or we've always been friends. But maybe this is a time in life as you step into a 9th grade class, into a high school class, that you really start taking account of who you surround yourself with and realizing, wow, my friends in my immediate context, they really, really do have an impact on me. And if you desire to follow Jesus and to lean into a relationship with him and to do church well and to lean into a small group and to start respecting elders and parents and the people above you, and maybe you already do that, but maybe it's difficult because the people around you don't do that, I just would challenge you that maybe this is a weekend, this is a week, this is a month where you start realizing, man, it really, really does matter to me who I surround myself with. And I told you that I had to learn that the hard way, and I kind of had to touch the stove there to realize it. And when I was in high school, I had a group of 9 guys that I ran with that I kind of accidentally was friends with. It was by proximity. We played sports together, and they happened to be good guys, and they happened to be guys that challenged me and pushed me. But when I graduated high school, I grew up down in South America in a country called Ecuador, spent 11 years down there, and had a pet monkey and 2 pet parrots, and you'll hear all those stories when you come up to 910, but had a great time growing up down there. And then I graduated high school in Ecuador and moved up to the U.S. And when I came to the U.S., I started playing soccer at Biola University, and for 2 years, I leaned into a community of people that their number one priority was sports, and we kind of lived for the weekend, and we made it through classes, and church was not a priority. Not many of them were walking with Jesus in a way that I would have said at the time that I wanted to have a relationship with Jesus. But I wonder, like me, how many of us would go, man, I want to have a relationship with Jesus. I have all these questions about God that I don't necessarily know the answers to, and I want to know more. And I'd like to be a part of a small group that actually got real with each other and didn't just mess around the whole time. And man, I want all these things, but I can't seem to get them. And every time my head hits the pillow at night, I seem to still be struggling with the same things and have the same insecurities. And if we're real with ourselves, right, kind of when the facade is over, when maybe all the joking is aside, or who we portray ourselves to be in public or on social media or on stories or on video games, when all of that's over and it's just you, are you 100% okay with who you are and who you are becoming? And I wonder how much of that is affected by the people that are in our immediate context, those that we would call our friends right now. And my challenge for you, 8th grade classes, as you move up, don't make the same mistake that I did as I went into college, where I just went, it doesn't really matter who I surround myself with. These are the guys I play soccer with, and they're just the guys I hang out with, but they don't impact me. They're not changing who I'm becoming. And looking back now, I just see how wrong that was and how backwards I was to think that I wasn't becoming like the 5 people that I spent the most time with. And it took a rude awakening for me. actually ended up quitting soccer and walking away from a sport that I'd been playing for 15, 17 years, and moved out of the house that I was staying in. And it was hard, and I'm not going to lie to you. It was a challenging season, but I think all things in life that are worth doing are challenging. Right? If we just sat back and kind of pursued comfortability and the path of least resistance in everything that we did, I don't think we would get anywhere. I don't think we would be successful in any realm, right? Take sports, music, art, the gym, weight room, health, actual friendships, parenting, having kids one day, if that's something you desire, marriage. All of those things take work. And now on the other side of work, there's this pleasure and there's this happiness and there's a comfortability there that can come on the other side of it. But anything worth doing is going to require work and is require a season of difficulty. And I wonder, 8th graders, as you become 9th graders and step into 9-10, I'm so stoked for you to step into this ministry that I get to be a pastor in. But man, I would challenge you, maybe even write down 5 names. These are the people that I spend the most time with. And are those the type of people that we want influencing who we are becoming? I love you guys. So stoked to meet you guys soon and hang out more and have you guys lean into 910. Remember, you're more than welcome to lean into our 910 weekend sermons. They're on our YouTube, 910 in the morning, every morning at 9:10 a.m. on Instagram. And then we do a fun thing on Wednesday nights called Fireside Chats. You could check that out anytime. It's on YouTube, and we're like 2-3 weeks away from you guys becoming freshmen. Stoked. We'll see you guys soon.